Hey, what's going on? This is Courtney Rollins with the Life in Transitions Experts podcast, YouTube channel, and Facebook group. Feel free to join us in any of those spaces. On Life in Transitions Experts channel, we are dedicated to helping folks navigate probate and estate planning, as well as generating income through real estate, income and wealth through real estate. And we are also here committed to helping provide a space for professionals who are also committed to those big transitions and serving people who are going through big transitions in their life. Today, we're going to talk about something pretty special to me, and that is the Durham County Courthouse that's located on Dillard Street that has the estate office. This is the place that I spend a good bit of my time every week going through files, speaking with clerks, building relationships with deputy clerks, and folks who are actually going through the probate process. And I was asked to give a tour of the courthouse, and so I figured that if I was going to give a tour, that perhaps there's a way I can provide a little more value. And I created a little checklist that I've used or I've thought about that are some tips and strategies that have helped me when I'm there and may be able to help you. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look. All right. So first thing first is probate is the legal process for settling the affairs of the estate of a deceased person. If someone passes away and they have debt in their name, they have property in their name, there has to be a legal way for this process for it to be taken and put into other names or resolved. And that usually is the probate, or that is the probate process, unless there's other legal instruments such as transfer upon death or trusts that are involved. You usually will have to go through the probate process. Even if there's a will, the will has to be executed. All right, so that's the will is a suggestion and it has to be executed. If there's not a will, then it has to be administered based on the laws of the land in most cases. All right, I see one of my awesome first and number one fans up here. Said hello, Maurice. That must be my mama. Hello, mama. She's awesome, supporting me always. Has helped me a lot in some of the spaces I've been in with real estate investing and just life in general. So what's up, mama? How you doing? All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. So yeah, I'm down at the clerk's office all the time, making sure that I know the process so that I can add value to folks who are working through probate. Here's some of the awesome clerks. Actually the assistant deputy clerks, Shwanita and Amanda, just got promoted, and then some of the deputy clerks here, Nick and Victoria. Awesome folks. There's several other folks in the office that do a great job of supporting and helping people, and they need your support. They're not allowed to give any type of legal advice to any person who comes in, but they have big hearts and they want to be able to help. So, someone like me who has a inclination towards finding real estate by helping people provides a great support to them because we're helping make sure that the administration lag or that the people know what they're expecting. They are able to deal with the assets and the property once they leave the office. They know that those folks who they want to help so much, who they can only help in their capacity, receives the support and help that they need. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a financial advisor. And I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just sharing my experience as a probate specialist in this space. So I just wanted to be able to share that. I also want to share that before we get started, there's a few things. Again, every court and every state office is different, and you may have nuances that are different from Durham County to Wake County to other spaces. So be sure to adapt the principles to your office. Durham is a growing, still moderate-sized city, and it still has that hometown, small town feel. So there may be some things that I'm able to do at Durham County that you might not be able to do in your space, such as like a large, super large space or county. But get in where you fit in. It's still great to understand what your space looks like so that you can navigate it efficiently. Now, the term probate lead is misleading because this is all really just data. It is just data. Until you actually are speaking to prospective buyers or someone who can make a decision about selling or buying a property now or in the future, that's what you need to. So don't mistake this for income producing activities. It will lead to income producing activities. And it's important to have the information, have the data. There's other ways, tools. You can use all the leads. It's a great resource for getting probate leads. You can use Foreclosures Daily. There's also a great resource. There's tons of places that will sell you data, but don't mix up data for the leads. But this is, if you want rubber meets the road. And one of the reasons that I actually go there is because I like being around the courthouse. I like being able to connect with people. I like generating business in that way, and I get it quickly, so it's not relying on other services. But you could save a little bit of time, which depends on your style and what you want to do with your company, your business. So I don't think there's really a wrong answer. Oh, special shout out to Probate Mastery, estate professionals, all the leads. These are places that Chad Corbett and Bill Gross and Bruce Hill, they really encourage real estate professionals like myself to visit the local courts so that we can learn more and bring more value to folks in this space. So just want to shout them out. All right, let's go. Now this list is compiled in no specific order, but I'm just going to go over them. All right, so make sure you have a clear purpose for your trip. Just to wander in there lingering. That may be one of your actual purposes, to just get a feel of the actual building. Nothing wrong with that. Perhaps you want to learn the process for pulling files. Maybe you want to meet the clerks in the office, or you want to pull a specific range of files. For instance, today I went down there. I knew what dates, what weeks I wanted to pull, so that when I saw Nick, I could ask him, "Hey, can you pull these files for me?" And was able to handle that efficiently. Or maybe you want a specific file pull, but have a specific clear purpose as you head down there. Number two, make sure you're cordial and nice to every single person, especially the support staff and security guards. These are the folks who are the gatekeepers. They're the ones that are keeping us safe, helping everyone do their job efficiently, and doesn't take anything to be kind, and it goes a long way. And it's just a nice thing to do. I bring thank you cards, donuts, snacks, even Little Caesars pizzas down there, and it's just a little bit of investment for my time to show my appreciation, and it goes a long way. And just being able to feel good about doing your work, as well as sometimes you may need some things. Like for instance, I was heading down there. I didn't even know. I guess I didn't read the sign that they didn't pull lists on Fridays, and there was a time where I was going down on Friday because it just fit my schedule. I had no idea that they were just pulling lists for me. Well, I'm sure they do it for other people that are kind, but it was until I heard someone come in and they said, "Hey, no, we don't do it on Fridays," and I'm sitting there with a big stack. I'm like, "Oh, what in the world?" So it's not that I'm doing it for tick for tack, but it's a great way to, I think, just to approach your business and your work and people. All right. Be able to clearly state what you're looking for. Don't worry if you don't know what's going on. Just present yourself as someone who's interested in learning the process. That whole Columbo, which is not hard for me because sometimes it's just hard for me to, I don't pretend like I know any or everything. And so when I'm going there and I'm saying, "Hey, I'm here to learn so that I can share more with people that I work with and add more value. Can you show me? Can you teach me?" Today I even asked a question about a particular acronym or abbreviation on the files that I kept seeing. And I actually have it in here, so you'll be able to see it in a few moments. But it was very interesting. It was helpful. So being able to clearly state what you're looking for, as well as presenting yourself as someone who's trying to learn, trying to add value to help people, is an excellent, I think, strategy. Yeah, Facebook user said thoughtfulness paid off. I wish StreamYard allowed me to see who's speaking here, but I completely agree, and I appreciate that comment there. You understand the specific process for requesting your files. Again, it may be different in your county. For Durham County, the estate office, there's a sheet you can write down the range of dates you want, or as you get in there, you might just run up to Janice or someone and say, "Hey, I would love to have July 31st through this particular time." All right, and then they'll go in the back and they'll get it for you. And you got to use a system that works for you. I used to sit down and write out all the data, and then I quickly found out, if I just take a picture of the specific documents that I need, and then my awesome assistant, shout out Keithley, goes and puts it in a spreadsheet for me. And then my process is I skip trace it. We're looking for the personal representatives and the attorney's information. So having their mailing address is great. And of the personal representative, that's the fiduciary for North Carolina documents. It's going to state fiduciary. It's not going to state personal representative. So those are the folks who have control over the estate. Those are the folks you want to speak to. I also gather other information like the decedent's name, the case file, any property that I see in the estate is good information. The attorneys are great information to pool, because you can start building a relationship with these attorneys and doing drop-ins and really applying some of the similar tactics as far as being kind, being gracious, having a system, and connecting with them. My cousin Roger is watching from Alabama. What's going on? See, it's a family affair right here. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on, brother? What is going on? And so another thing that you want to think about is, use a specific process. Yeah, use a system that works for you. Oh, consider your parking and parking fees. I know I can park right out in front if I get out there at certain times. Usually not busy in Durham County. I just got to watch out for that hot dog stand. There's a lady there. I think she puts some type of special chemicals in that lemonade. Whew, it's so good, and I don't want to spend all my money or my calories eat drinking that lemonade. So sometimes I park away from there so I don't go get to the hot dog stand. But just know, just know what you expect so that you can have the proper funds and plan accordingly. Know the abbreviations. Every office may be a little different. I should have a picture up here, but LOAD at the Durham County office usually means there's a letter of administration. There's no will. Probate or PROB is going to be that it's probate or is going through probate. A will that might be self-explanatory has a valid will associated with the estate. AFTCP is affidavit of collection of the personal property. That's usually when there's a spouse involved and this doesn't necessarily go through probate either because of the size of the estate or because there's legal structures in place that make all the assets just transfer over. Guardian and guardianship is an important one that I was overlooking until I spoke to someone. Shout out to Dan. As a gentleman that I'm starting to do role plays with in the morning. Shout out to Katie too for helping with that. She's leading us in role plays every morning. She's sharp. But Dan suggested that I start looking at guardianships because sometimes in the guardianships they are legally advised or have to sell the property there. So I might be able to find some leads there, support the folks there. Small estates is usually for states under $20,000 after a certain year. I can't remember what year it started to be $20,000. So large estates is estates that have total property over $20,000. And RWRDE, that's something I didn't know, but I just asked Victoria. Thank you, Victoria. She said it's wrongful death cases. And there's other abbreviations, but those are the main ones that I see. And I really don't ignore any of them. Even with small estates, there might be a way to help. And the more I support and help people, the more I learn, the more tools I have in my toolbox, and the more valuable I am. So don't just overlook folks just because they don't have property. Sometimes it may become your private investor now that they have funds, or again, you can just put in that goodwill and learn and grow. Download and review all the documents associated with your state or with North Carolina so you know what you're looking at and what you're looking for. With repetition, you'll be able to say, okay, I know exactly which file I need to go to. Inventory sheet's a great space to see what assets are associated with the estate. When it's the accounting, so that's an awesome place to see. Now, things aren't always fully completed because there's different stages. Probate is a long process. It's one of the challenges. And so you may look at the file and it's at a certain stage in probate, but usually you still should be able to find the fiduciary's information. So review the requested file. That's the letter of authorization for letter of administration or the letter to file for probate, and they'll have the fiduciary's information there. If you get the phone number, that's golden because you don't have to skip trace. You have the phone number there. I highly recommend that you call. If you want a script, reach out to me. I can share a script that may be to help support your conversation. Make a note of the decedent's name and the file number. I think I said that earlier. And you may need to make a note of the beneficiaries because if they're selling property, even if it doesn't have to go through probate, sometimes you have to get beneficiaries to sign off, and so it's good to already have that. The attorney's information is great. I've been knocking on doors, dropping in on certain attorneys. Some have been as successful, but I found a gentleman yesterday, an awesome guy. Is going to be a great source of referrals and someone I can give referrals to as well because I'm firsthand seeing all these folks who are doing probate and may need attorney support. And so I'm able to, if I'm connecting with them and they've asked, which I've had many times, I can direct them to attorneys such as the gentleman I met yesterday and be able to support their business and support, of course, the person's needs. And it's awesome. You will find more prospects need attorneys. Yep, I already said that. Oh yeah, this is a cool nugget. If you see insurance forms, quite often they have the beneficiaries or the co-beneficiaries information there. Quite often there's a phone number there. So sometimes or most times there really isn't a phone number, so you have to really comb through or get the mailing address and skip trace. But looking at the insurance forms, I found oh wow, there's a number there. And it's not hard for me. I got these big Will Smith ears, have big ears, and it's not like you're being nosy or eavesdropping, but the doors are open. People are coming in and out who need support, who are scheduling. Don't be afraid to, in a very appropriate way, ask them what support they may need and introduce yourself. Um, Now, you may want to have business cards. It's not as necessary. Don't hold yourself back or wait to have business cards. In fact, it's more important to get their contact, get their information, because you're more likely to reach out to them and connect to them than they are to you. It's not because they don't respect you, but or want to talk to you, but this isn't something that's they're expecting to do in their life quite often, and it's not going to be. You're not going to be first on their mind once they leave that office quite often. So make sure you get their information. Don't let a business card be a barrier if you don't have one. But if you do have one, you can make sure you share it. You can also, if you build relationships with the deputy clerks, share your business cards with them, and they may be more inclined when they're, even though they can't give advice or suggestions, they sometimes can take a look at your card and look at the person in front of them, and maybe they'll make that connection for themselves. Yeah, and ask the clerks or the office for documents or checklists for the probate process. You can turn those into, that's literally what I've done so many times. I've taken what they give me and turned it into content here for my channel to give, away great free resources to help people, or just so that you know that you can modify it and change it into your own probate checklist so that when people are speaking to you or you need help, you have something to offer, And I would also say have some type of system and routine. Don't just do it every now and then. I was doing it every Tuesday before I went to a cool place called Swing Piles, where I volunteered at young group of kids who are learning golf. And really they're teaching me, so I get to go hang out for an hour and get some lessons in golf and watch them. But it's right there next to the courthouse, so I go to the courthouse beforehand. But I'm going to start doing it on Wednesdays, though, just spread out my time a little bit. But anyways, regardless, I digress. Have a system for your routine for pulling data and using the data, and do it. Remember, the data is important, but what's more important is using it, speaking directly with people who have the ability to make a decision about property. That is the key, all right? All right, so here's my little trifold. Shout out all the leads. I am in the middle of the hub there, can support you with your probate needs. And if you're a probate professional and you're looking for support figuring out how to get going, I love sharing information. It helps me learn, helps me grow, and we help each other out. So Courtney Rollins at estateproservice.com. You can go to estateproservice.com, sign up for a free conversation, and hopefully be able to help you. And this is the Life in Transitions Experts Podcast, LITE. Let your light shine. Cheers.